All right, we're getting ready for another episode of Drew Pearson Live right here at Texas Live. This episode is brought to you by Mind for Life Brain Center. Dr. Lee is with us. The Claytons are inside. We got a special guest, Ed Too Tall Jones. Jenn Reed, you ready?
I'm ready.
Paul Salfen, you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, let's kick off another episode of Drew Pearson Live. Hut, hut, follow me. Hut, hut. Pearson Live Band, D. Paul. Appreciate you, Darren Wise. Thank you. It's the Dallas Cowboys, 3-0. Yeah, we good? Yeah. 3-0 Dallas Cowboys, 31-6 victory last Sunday against the Miami Dolphins. How about number 19, Amari Cooper? Man on that touchdown by the goal line where he gave that in route and then broke it back to the sideline. Ooh, that was sweet. That was sweet. You know what that reminded me of? Me. Hut, hut. Running those kind of shake routes. He gets our Drew Pearson Live Most Valuable Player for the Miami game. Let's give it to number 19, Amari Cooper. You agree with me on that? All right, our defensive most valuable player, let's make it a co-defensive most valuable player, Jalen Smith. Wow, he had a great game, number 54. He was in on 10 tackles. Our second co-most valuable player from last week's game against Miami, defensive end DeMarcus Lawrence. He only had one tackle, but he had a sack and a fumble recovery. So those are our most valuable players from last week's game. The thing we got to do to win this game tonight, we got to limit turnovers. Make sure we don't turn that football over. We only had one in the game, but one in the NFL is one too many. We got to stop number 41, Alvin Kamara, and I think we'll finish at 4-0. What do you think? You with me on that? All right. All right. We got a special guest with us today. He's the number 1 draft pick in 1974 from Tennessee State, number 1 overall first pick ever for the Dallas Cowboys, and what a great pick it was, because he turned into a 3-time Pro Bowler, a 3-time All-Pro. He's a Super Bowl champion. Let's welcome none other than the great number 72 for the Dallas Cowboys, Ed Too Tall Jones. What's up, big guy? All right. Have a seat, Ed, so I can see eye to eye. But, you see how I got swallowed up when he came in here?
Oh.
One thing you never lose is that size, huh? People recognize you everywhere you go.
That is so true.
Yeah, but a lot of that is because of your size, but also because you played with the Dallas Cowboys at the right time when we were becoming America's team.
And I had just teammates like yourself and your guest last week, Randy White.
Well, Ed, you played 15 years in the league. You took that little time off to do a little boxing and stuff, and that kind of helped your career after you came back, right?
It did, because it got an elephant off my back.
Yeah. Meaning?
For those who don't know much about my background, growing up on a farm in Jackson, Tennessee, my father was a big fight fan.
Okay.
And all young boys want to be like their dads. Right. So I became a boxer. My college coach gave me an ultimatum. He said, either you have to give up boxing or football and basketball.
Okay.
Well, that was a no-brainer. There's no way I could go back to my hometown and tell my mom, I just lost my scholarship because I want to box.
Yeah.
I signed a 4-year deal with Dallas with an option year. And after going to 3 Super Bowls in 5 years, I said, now is the time for me to pursue that lifelong dream. And gave it up and had 6 fights, won all 6, and retired for reasons that I haven't told anyone outside of family. But
No,
I'll tell you what. You will be the first to know when I get ready to tell the public.
All right, right on.
And then coming back to Dallas for 10 more years was 10 of the best years of my life.
Tell the folks how many games you missed in 15 years.
Lucky and blessed, never missed a game.
Can you believe that? Can you believe that? Give him some for that. We came to play back in the day, huh? Your boy Harvey Martin on the other side, I don't think he missed any games in 11 years. What about Randy White?
Randy
Played
White,
about
you
14?
can probably count the games on one hand. And that's one of the things I can't figure out about the game today is why so many guys are injured.
Yeah.
We had 6 preseason games when I played, and the first game, Coach Landry would play us 2 quarters. In the last game, he'd play us 3 quarters. And I still wasn't there, wasn't ready. It still took me a couple of games. But these guys sitting out to all of preseason now, and then you ask them to give 110% once the season starts. I don't see how they do it.
Today's game, different to you? You like the way it's going or not?
Well, I wouldn't be able to play today.
Yeah. Why?
And when I say that, I'm not joking, because with the rule changes, for example, the helmet-to-helmet rules, being 6'9", when I break down into a football position, it's helmet-helmet.
Yeah.
And one of the ways I protected my legs was I headbutted every play, which would be a penalty every play.
Yeah, right.
Just to make sure I was low enough. I led with my head, and then I came with the leverage with my arm. So I think what you're gonna find in the very near future, defensive ends, 6'1", 6'2", the size of your linebackers today. Quick, fast linebackers.
Well, anyway, we got 2 pretty good defensive ends now. They kind of remind me of you and Harvey. You got Demarcus Lawrence and Robert Quinn, who we picked up from Miami.
They're a lot smaller, but they have a lot of energy, that motor that never stops. I mean, watching Lawrence, this guy give you 110% every time the ball is snapped. Just watching that team now, those guys believe they can win every time they step on the field, and mentally, when you go on the field and you feel like they can't stop me, a lot of times, majority of the times I should say, they can't. So they believe in themselves, and they're certainly going to have to believe in themselves tonight, because New Orleans is not an easy place to win. Right. Even though they're missing Breeze, still, that team feels that they can, anybody that come in to their stadium, they can beat you. And I think Dallas have the team this year on offense and defense, special team, that can win, not just in football and in sports, in any business. Right. If you don't have a leader, you'll never accomplish your dreams. Coaches can't do it all. Coaches can't do it all. You got to have internal leadership in order to ever achieve everything you're capable of achieving.
And speaking of leaders, you mentioned Coach Landry. You think Jason Garrett's the coach that can take us back to the Super Bowl?
My fingers are crossed that he's the man.
Right.
What's this, his 9th or 10th year? But I like Jason. I think his string is short. And when you look at the team that they have this year, there's no excuses. Not only do they have to make the playoff, win the division, but make some noise when they get to the playoff. Can't be no one and done.
Right. To do that, they got to beat the Saints tonight. You got a prediction for us?
Yes, I think Dallas will win.
Yeah, all right.
I mean that when I say that, because when you look at the Saints roster and you look at Dallas roster, I'd rather have Dallas roster. It should be a great game, and when you're playing, like I said, when you have the attitude that we can win, it doesn't matter if you're at home or on the road. I think those guys can block out that crowd noise they're going to hear in their dome and go there and win that ball game.
Yep, well, I agree. Everybody agree with that? Cowboy victory, 4-0. Yeah. And he's 6'9". You would never disagree with Ed Too Tall Jones, would you? I wouldn't, I know that.
Well, I'm an old Too Tall Jones now. So.
Okay. Well, you're still looking good, Ed. We want to thank you for taking the time to be with us and being part of the show. And thanks for that great prediction for another Cowboy victory, man.
Yeah, thank you for having me, man.
All right, let's give it up for Ed Too Tall Jones. Right on, you guys. EP4 is going to take us to break, and we'll be right back with more of Drew Pearson Live right after this. Stay tuned.
What if you're able to see the source of problems such as ADD, depression, anxiety, and even addiction? At Mindful Life, we evaluate the brain in its function to figure out where these problems may occur in the brain. And based on these findings, we tailor the treatment pattern just for you individually. This is the strength of what we do at Mindful Life Brain Center, located in Plano. If you're interested, please contact us in the information below, and we hope to see you soon.
The True Pearson Live Show Band, give it up for them. Whoa, they'd be kicking. No show in the Metroplex is like this. Having the great Ed Too Tall Jones as our guest. We appreciate Big Ed taking the time to be with us. But as we keep the show going, we got to bring on our entertainment guru. He's none other than the great Paul Salfen. Let's bring him on, D. Paul.
There he is.
What's up?
How are you?
All right, welcome back. Welcome back, Paul.
Glad to be back.
All right, you got some interesting stuff for us today,
I
man.
do.
Because you're dealing with the #1 movie in the country.
Yeah, of
and
course.
And you got the 2 lead actors in that movie.
That's right.
That you interviewed. Who
Yes.
you got with us?
Well, you know, I had to think of something. You know, we had John Travolta for the
Right.
first show. Then we had Oscar winner Julianne Moore. And then we had a brand new show that people are finding out about right now. And I was like, well, what do you do next? You got to have, for the #1 Cowboys, you got to have the #1 movie in the country,
All right.
Yeah, that's right. It's Downton Abbey, which is based on the hit TV show. And you know, I know you like your soaps, but this is the British version.
Tell everybody.
Oh, sorry. No, hold on. This is no secret. You were on
Young and the Restless.
Yep.
That's right.
He was
Victor
on
Newman's
Young and the
Bodyguard.
Restless. He was the yeah. Come on.
Let me give you my one line.
All right, let's hear it.
Yes, Mr. Newman.
But
That was it.
But that was so cool, right?
Oh, it was great. It was great. So what do you got?
All right.
We could talk about Mr. Newman, Young and the Restless for days.
We
You
had
got the Alan Leach.
Yeah, Alan Leach
And Michelle Dockery.
That's right.
The 2 actors in that.
and you'll hear them say a Hail Mary because they know it.
They know it. Right on. Let's get to it then, right?
Let's hear it.
Let's check it out.
Today we're honored to be joined by the stars of Downton Abbey, Michelle Dockery and Alan Leach. Good morning, how are you?
Good, thank you. How are you?
Well, we loved the film, and a whole lot of people at the screenings have been saying, even if they haven't seen the show, they still love the film too.
That's really, really good to hear.
It's lovely to hear, yeah. It's something that I think Julian and all of us as the cast and wanted to make sure that this could also stand alone, and if you did, as you say, just go to the cinema without any knowledge of any of these characters, be they upstairs or downstairs, you'd be able to watch this house and the household be thrown into chaos with the arrival of the royals.
Well, everything on the set just looked perfect, and it must have been so much fun just to go get all dressed up and be on the set. Were you ever looking around the set going, wow, I can't believe I get paid to do this?
I mean, most days felt like that, and you know, for us, we're such a family, and it's a lot of fun, and it doesn't really feel like work. But yeah, I certainly had moments, especially in those huge scenes, like the ballroom scene, and in locations like Harwood House. It really is quite something. So yeah, there was certainly pinch yourself moments during the filming.
On Drew Pearson Live, we always ask people their Hail Mary moment, the moment in their life or career where they just had to go for it and it worked out for them. What do you suppose that was for you?
I mean, I think Downton, I would
say Downton is definitely a Hail Mary. Yeah,
without a doubt. And I think maybe after that first season, when the show was, you know, it did extremely well in the UK, and then when it hit America, and the ripples started to hit us in the UK, and it really started to dawn on us all how popular it was becoming here. And then of course it grew and grew and grew in Australia and China, and I mean all over the world. So I think, you know, that season, at the beginning of season 2, that was a big moment. All right, see that, Drew?
Yeah, that was awesome.
There's Hail Mary moments all across the world. I bet everyone here has a Hail Mary moment,
Yeah.
right?
Do we have Hail Mary?
Yeah.
They know what to call it now, right?
They do. Now that the Cowboys are #1, let's keep them #1, right?
Amen, amen. All
That's
right. Our entertainment guru, Paul Salfen. Let's give it up for him. Bring him out.
A lot of you already know who Mr. Lee is. He is a serial roofing entrepreneur.
Currently ranked number 27th as the largest roofing company in America, helping thousands.
It's about having the time to spend with your family. It's about being able to take the long vacations, to turn your cell phone off for a week if you want to not be up there on the roof working with your own hands.
You will benefit from the information and the actions that Lee can guide you towards.
Lee's been a great leader. We just love the team. We love Sky Diamonds. We love our RCA.
No better place to work, in my opinion.
Thank you so much, Lee Haight and Sky Diamonds University.
Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen,
my name's Lee Haight. I own a roofing company. Last year we did $46 million in revenue. And my purpose is to raise the status of the blue-collar entrepreneur.
All right. Thank you, guys. Before we do that, we got to bring on our social media influencer, none other than Miss Jenn Reed. Bring her on. All right, and as always, this segment is also brought to you by CowboyLegends.com, where you can get some of this Cowboy Legends merchandise. You see here, Tony Dorsett t-shirt, Tony Dorsett hat, Drew Pearson hat, Roger Staubach, all the great Cowboy Legends. You can get them at CowboyLegends.com. All right, Jen, I got a trivia question for you so we can give away this great merchandise. Ed Too Tall Jones was our guest. We appreciate him being on the show. He left the Cowboys in '78 to take up boxing, but he came back later. But in between, he had 6 boxing matches. How many of those matches did he win? And how many did he win by knockouts? That's the trivia question. The first one to answer that on Drew Pearson Live, Facebook Live page will win this lovely hat from Tony Dorsett and the t-shirt as well.
Gary Lewis.
Gary,
said,
what's up, Gary?
Great picture of you trying to, you're catching the ball. He says, the caption was, I've got 88 problems, but catching the ball isn't one.
All right.
I thought that was good.
You talking about the original 88, right?
And actually,
I never dropped a pass. No, I don't even drop a phone call. That's the original 88, right? Came to catch the football.
And
That's
he's actually
very
excited. He's coming up here for the Packers game, and he wants to actually come on the show.
All right, Jen, anything else to add?
We'll have more next week.
We appreciate the contribution as always. There she is, the lovely Jenn Reed. All right, thank you, everybody. And we'll be right back with more Drew Pearson Live, brought to you by Mind for Life, right after this. Bring them on. All right. Thank you, guys. Sounding good as always. The Drew Pearson Live Band. Right on. Hey, check me out. Adam Alexander hooked me up again. Just look at me. All right. Hunter, thanks for being here. Right on. Let's bring them on. The Clayton, Brady, Quinn, and Asher Clayton are here in the house. All right. All right, have a seat. Right on. This is Brady.
Yes, sir.
This is Quinn. Hey. And this is Asher right here. Hey. the youngest member ever to be on Drew Pearson Live. Right on.
This is his
Welcome
first
to the
time
show,
on TV,
guys. Right
and
on.
he won't remember any of it, unfortunately.
Well, maybe one day. We got the video to prove it,
There
right?
you go, there you go.
Well, thanks for being with us, and you guys have been all over, and we've been showing where you've been. You just came back from Bali.
This week, we're going to do a fun segment in Bali, again, looking for some Cowboy fans, okay? Just kind of tough when you're thousands of miles away from Jerry World to try to find some Cowboy fans.
Right.
But we were successful, so that's
Right
what we're going to
on.
watch today.
All right, let's check it out right here on Drew Pearson Live, the Claytons.
We're the Claytons, Brady, Quinn, and our little baby Asher. We travel all over the US and the world going on crazy adventures.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Claytons here on Drew Pearson Live. We are taking Drew Pearson Live across the globe to Bali, Indonesia, which is the capital of huge Dallas Cowboys fans. We're going to talk to some crazy fans on the beach today. Let's go. Dallas Cowboy fans! Is anyone a Dallas Cowboy fan? And where are you from?
From Poland.
From Poland?
From the Netherlands.
The Netherlands. All right, where are y'all from?
South Africa.
South Africa.
Yeah, true story.
Dang! Why are the Dallas Cowboys your favorite team in football ever?
Oh my man. We don't know.
No, you don't know who the Dallas Cowboys are?
I didn't really watch it. Well, you see, I first heard of them when I was about 9 years old.
Really?
And no, I've never even heard of them. Sorry, man.
No, you're good, dude.
I'm not a sports fan, sorry.
No sports fans?
I was like, what?
I was gonna play along with it.
We are currently at our favorite restaurant in Bali, and we heard someone with an American accent and thought, why not ask her about this football season? So why are the Cowboys your favorite team?
So I'm a big Ohio State University football fan, and the Cowboys now have one of our favorite players, Ezekiel Elliott. So decided to pick the Cowboys because I had Zeke.
You know who caught the first Hail Mary?
I know his number.
All right.
It was 88.
Who caught the first Hail Mary pass in football ever?
John Travolta.
John Travolta, ladies and gentlemen, first Hail Mary pass. Thanks so much again, guys, for watching the Claytons here only on Drew Pearson Live.
Follow us on Facebook and Instagram as we take Drew Pearson live on the road.
See you guys next week.
88 on 8. 88 on 8.
All right, guys.
Wow, that's good stuff, man.
Thank you, man.
Right
Thank
on,
you. It was
right
really
on.
fun just to try to find someone thousands of miles across the world who are Cowboy fans, but there are definitely some awesome Cowboy fans in Bali.
Right on. And that young man, I'm sure he's a Cowboy fan right there.
He's a Cowboy fan through and through.
All right, all right. Asher, thanks for being part of the show today, all right? He's looking at me like I'm crazy, but hey, I know one day you'll appreciate this. Boom, all right. All right, up next is Dr. Lee in Mind for Life, and he's going to talk about those 2 key head injuries that happened in the games last weekend. We'll do that right after this. But D. Paul, kick us in and kick us out, whatever you got. See you, sir. All right, have a seat, Dr. Lee. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
All right, I'm doing better. I don't have that twitch anymore after seeing you.
Yeah, sounds great.
All right.
Sounds great. Glad to hear that.
All right, let's get into some serious business.
Sure.
There are 2 key head injuries we saw in the games last week, okay? Alan Hearn, former Cowboy, got decked coming over the middle.
That was a hard hit.
That was a terrible hit. That even made me cringe, okay? But then Josh Roden late in the game, he got hit.
Right.
But Alan Hearns, he went to the sidelines, and they did not bring him back into the game.
Right.
Now, Josh Rosen goes to the sidelines, they bring him back in the game.
Right.
What's the difference?
Well, I think there are a couple of things. Number one, just watching, how the play unfolded and ended, the severity of injury is very different.
Yes.
If you look at Alan Hearns, I mean, as you said, you cringe. I cringe when I'm watching that. The sideline test, there are several tests that you go through.
This is when they go into that tent?
Into the tent,
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. They do a quick analysis. There's like 8 different things that they go through. There's a testing that called Sports Concussion Assessment Test, version 3. It's got 8 criteria that they go through in a rapid succession that tells you the kind of status the player is in terms of consciousness, kind of neck injuries they have, how the brain is functioning at that point, how's the coordination, any dizziness, headaches, all those kind of things that can happen. And they determine at that point if the player is actually able to get back into the field. And from there, they can determine, do you actually have a concussion? in an acute state or not. I think Josh Rosen, on the other hand, I saw the play. Yeah, he hit his head, but he was more of a sliding, type of hit.
Contact.
Not direct contact. He was sliding at the end of his run. I think he slid and hit the back of his head. And I think, obviously, head injury, you need to assess it. And I think the severity of that injury probably was not as acute. I'm sure they went through the same 8 criteria assessment for his evaluation. And when he came out, just looking at him standing on the sidelines for a few minutes, you could tell, he doesn't look too bad. So I think that's probably the deciding factor of bringing him in or taking the player out.
So the testing is a little different than back in the day, huh?
Yes.
When I used to get my bell rung, they called it that.
That's right.
I go to the sidelines, they say, what state are you in? I say Texas. Or I say Oklahoma, but we're in Texas. They say that's close enough.
Close enough, right.
Get back in
Get
there,
back in
right?
there, exactly.
But now these tests, when they go inside that tent, these tests are very more specific, unique, and I think our listening audience, they got a lot of kids playing sports, and they're concerned about that.
Yes.
Because a lot of times they come to the side on the high school or the Pee Wee level, they're not getting the same treatment you get on the college level, professional level.
Definitely,
so a lot of parents are concerned about that.
Sure.
So we want to make sure if they are concerned, there's ways we can deal with that. But you got to step up and let us know what's going on.
Exactly.
Right, Doc?
Exactly.
So, all right. Well, Dr. Doohi Lee, we appreciate the insight.
My pleasure.
I'll be visiting you coming up this week.
Yes.
And
looking forward to that.
Looking forward to that.
Yeah.
I'm not looking forward to what you might find when you put me through the scan, but definitely want to know what's going on.
Well, once you know it, then you can do something about it.
Do something about it. And there are things we can do about it, right?
There definitely is.
And that's the main thing.
Is.
All right, Dr. Lee. Thanks for being
my
with
pleasure.
us.
Thank you
and
so much.
Thanks for supporting the show with Mind for Life Brain Center.
My great pleasure. Thank you.
All right,
Thank
up there in Plano. All right, let's give it up for Dr. Lee. Dr. Lee, hang with us as we wrap up the show. We've got the whole cast over there. We're going to go join the band. D. Paul, let's kick this show out and let's do it the right way. Let's go. Another show, but before you let you go, we want to thank our sponsor, Sky Diamond University, Michael Nast Media, and our title sponsor for today's show, Mind for Life Brain Center. He's right here, Dr. Doohi Lee. Yeah. All right. We also want to thank Adam Alexander. Just look at me. Hut, hut. All right. And thank you all for being part of the show. The last thing we got to do is make a prediction. Here you go. Check it out. All right? Yeah. 35-14. You notice that ain't Saints, that's the Aints.